What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network, DM Gaming. Yeah. So today, y'all, I want to talk about expectations and how to set the right expectations for this game. But before we get into all of that, if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button, y'all. Follow me on these social media platforms. My PlayStation ID is DM Gaming 5, Twitter at DM Gaming 5, Twitch at DM Gaming 06. Instagram at DM network. Also, click that sub button and turn on the bell icon. Become a part of the over 9,000 Hype Squad so you don't miss a single upload. We doing this every day. And there is nobody on YouTube that's going to cover this game like us. Follow us to the promised land. So, on with the video. So, expectations. This is kind of a bundled discussion. I won't be long, but expectations for the game. My expectations are very high for the game, but I feel like my expectations are high because I understand what the target is for this game. People who have the wrong expectations for this game tend to compare this game to games that it shouldn't be compared to. Now, is it a Dragon Ball game? Yeah. But this game shouldn't in no way be compared to Xenoverse. Shouldn't even almost be compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ. And honestly, it shouldn't even be compared to any other Budokai series, the Tenkaichi series. The only game or games that this should be compared to is Dragon Ball Z Legend of the Super Saiyan and Legacy of Goku. And the reason why is because their structure is the same. This is an action RPG. Legend of the Super Saiyan was a turn-based style RPG. Legacy of Goku was an RPG. Why would you compare an RPG to a fighter game or to I guess a hack and slash is technically what you could probably call Xenoverse. Xenoverse is kind of a hybrid. It's a little bit fighter, a little bit adventure, story. It's a linear game. So you can't compare this to that. And if you do that, then you're going to start getting the wrong expectations for the game. I've seen people say Dragon Ball FighterZ is the best Dragon Ball game, or Dragon Ball FighterZ is better than this. It's not even the same kind of game. That's like comparing apples to oranges. I mean, they're both fruit, just like these games are all Dragon Ball games. But an apple is not an orange. It doesn't taste like an orange. It doesn't look like an orange. It doesn't smell like an orange. It doesn't feel like an orange. Everybody doesn't like apples. Everybody don't like oranges. But there are people who like fruit. Just like now, people like Dragon Ball games, but not everybody likes RPGs. Not everybody likes fighters. Not everybody likes beat 'em up style like Xenoverse and stuff like that in the Budokai series. So you have to set your expectations proper with this game. This game will do the same thing that FighterZ did for the fighting game community. There's a community of RPGers. Me, myself, I love RPGs because I like leveling up. I like the grind, especially if the grind isn't like stupid repetitive. There needs to be some refreshments in there. Now, people who play RPGs, we understand that there's a grind. We understand that grind can be competitive or repetitive. I'm sorry. But people who don't play RPGs, if you've never played an RPG, a true RPG, then you may not understand it and it may turn you off. That doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It just means that you don't like RPGs. You see what I'm saying? Afro Senju did a kind of a review on the demo, and I did watch that because I pay attention to these other Dragon Ball YouTubers. And Afro said his video could come off the wrong way. I think people are taking his video the wrong way because people were saying, "Oh, Afro said that the game was horrible or that game was bad or this or that." That's not what he was saying. Afro was saying that the mechanics in the game, I'm summarizing what he's saying because he didn't word it right. Or he worded it right. I understood it, but people didn't understand it. What Afro was saying is basically that he didn't have the best experience possible with the game, the demo, because of the controls. They're way different. And there's a learning curve to get used to the controls because I've even listened to other people give their reviews, and they said the same thing. And some of them even said, once I got control, once I learned how to fly, he said, then the game opened up and it became really, really fun. See, one thing that people have to understand is that, we suffer from old Dragon Ball game itis, where we're used to the controls of other Dragon Ball games. Because for the most part, they're all the same. You look at the Budokai series, Tenkaichi series, Raging Blast, even Xenoverse. It's all the same combo structure. Square, 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 triangle. You throw some triangle in there. Circle was always your key button, and X was most of the time your block button. The controls are not the same in this game. Even yesterday's video, I was talking about square, square, square for the combo. It's not. The button to fight is, if I'm not mistaken, is actually the circle button on the PlayStation. The button that we've been used to using for Key Blast forever is used to attack. So, there can be some change ups. I'm hoping that the game has button mapping, because that is definitely going to take some getting used to, especially if you're still playing Xenoverse, still playing the older Dragon Ball games. And then you come over and try to play this one, you're going to be shooting Key Blast when you're trying to punch. Also, the flight mechanics. The flight mechanics that he talked about was a little bit different. You would think to go up or down, you would use the analog, but you don't. I think they say they use like the trigger buttons, right trigger, left trigger, to go up and down, things like that. So, and these things could change. This is why they need feedback, because they could easily change those things to where the flight mechanics are, the controls are more accustomed to Xenoverse, to the other Dragon Ball games, and that will eliminate people being turned off by the game because it feels clunky. It's not that the game is clunky. The game isn't clunky. It's that we're not used to those controls. See, so you have to set your expectations for this game proper. When you're listening to people saying that the controls were clunky, they're not talking about the game is laggy and buggy. They're just saying that the controls are different and it's taking some getting used to. But like they said, once you get used to it, it's great. It's awesome. It's fun. Your mind opens up to other stuff. So we have to set our expectations for this game fair. The game is meant to be lived in. It's not meant to be played. For people talking about we needed something different. We want something different. We want same old story, same old story, same old story. It's Dragon Ball, man. I mean, you have so many games out with I want people to tell me what type of different story could you possibly have that doesn't involve the future. Okay? You cannot tell me a different Dragon Ball story that doesn't deviate from the canon, that doesn't involve the future. Now, here's one. Maybe make a game exploring Trunks in his future, where Trunks is the main character. Something like that, yeah. But what are y'all looking for when y'all say something different? This game is something different. Is the story the same? Yeah, but it's Dragon Ball. It's just like playing, people play Call of Duty. The story is the same. Nobody complains about the story. You're shooting somebody. You're going to war. Final Fantasy. All of these other games, Kingdom Hearts. For the most part, the core of the story is the same. If you're playing an anime game, the story for the most part is going to be the same, unless you create a new story. You're going to have to create new characters and things of that effect. And there are content creators on YouTube who do this, so it can be done. But you have to ask yourself, are you really going to have fun with that? I don't know, man, because everybody wants to create a character and things like that. They can set it in the future and stuff like that, but this is something different. In this game, we're going to be able to explore lore for unanswered questions. There's going to be things in this game that haven't been in any other Dragon Ball game ever. Also, the way that the game is played in and of itself is something different. You can compare it to Legacy of Goku. You can compare it to Legend of the Super Saiyan, but it's better. It's miles better than those games already in the state that it's in right now. There's so many different locations to explore. Within those locations, it's so vast, it's so open. I mean, the graphics are on point, the energy blasts and all those things are on point, destructible environments. It's almost everything we've asked for in a game. But the key to getting the most out of this game and understanding this game is to set your expectations proper. Long story short, you got to come in with the right expectations. Number one, the buttons are going to be different. Be prepared for that. Number two, It's an RPG. It is an RPG. It's an RPG. It's not going to play like Xenoverse. It's not going to play like Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's going to play like an RPG. Okay? So you have to go in understanding those things. There is no online co-op. There is no online multiplayer. There is no player versus player. This is a single player, open sandbox Dragon Ball Z game. And the thing about the story is, I think people complain about the story because it's so linear. This game is not like that. So it's not going to feel anything like the other Dragon Ball games where you're just going from boss to boss to boss. You're not going to be able to do that in this game. You are not going to be able to go straight from Raditz to Nappa and Vegeta. You are not going to be able to do it. And if you are doing that, you're missing out. People are talking about speed running through the game and stuff like that. Dude, I want to level up as fast as I can so I can fight the bosses. No. Take your time. Play this game. Like I said, when y'all watch me play this game when it comes out, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 days before I go to Raditz. I don't know. It's going to be a while. Because I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that I can out of the game. Leveling up as much as possible. Let me find out you can train and there's no limit to how much you can get stronger from training. I might be training for 2 or 3 days in body Raditz. And that's one thing that I wondered I'm going to discuss in another video is about the training and the leveling system. So y'all stay tuned for that. But that's all I got for right now, y'all. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.